Hello, good afternoon sa inyong lahat. This is Sami Tan and welcome to our Good to Great Coffee Time. We do this every other week. And in case you don't know kung ano yung Good to Great, what it stands for, Good to Great stands for you may have a good life, but it can be great. No? So what we're after is after a great life. And we picture ourselves as a community art, no? Community of courageous individuals banding together on shared values and living together in harmonious prosperity even in trying times. So right now, I would say we are in trying times, no? And naniniwala kami sa 8 essentials to good health. These are sleep, exercise, diet, nutrition, living water, sunlight, air, Earth's magnetism, prayer, and spirit. And if you have all of this in balance, no, I believe you will have good health, no. And we also believe in what we call the intangibles, no, when it comes to handling crisis, surviving yung mga trying times. You need to have all these intangible more than having good friends who have money, more than having business. You need to have these intangibles in order to survive or thrive in trying times. Now, meron kaming video that I would like to show you. This video sums up kung ano yung pinag-usapan natin, no?
When we're laying on our deathbed, you're not going to worry about how much money you had, how much power you had, how much prestige. You're going to see that that was all game, that was all an illusion. The only thing that's going to matter is the impact you had on other people's lives.
We are all on a separate journey. But the beautiful thing about our life here on this earth is at my funeral, they ain't gonna talk about my success. They're gonna talk about who Nick was, and how Nick lived, and how Nick loved and encouraged.
Success is incredibly important, but even more important than success, it's having an impact. It's knowing you haven't walked the planet in vain. It's knowing that because you've been here, you've blessed lives, you've developed people, and you have made the world a better place.
The effect you have on others is the most valuable currency there is. Everything you gain in life will rot and fall apart, and all that will be left of you is what was in your heart.
Life is a mirror, and life gives us not what we want. Life gives us who we are. When you were born, you cried while the world rejoiced. Live your life in such a way that when you die, the world cries while you rejoice.
Okay, so our next portion is we will have our Tai Chi master, si Alfred Fernandez, who will talk to us about how to relieve neck pain. Alfred.
Hi, good afternoon to everyone. Tag-list na lang tayo. Ngayon hapon this afternoon, we'll talk about relieving neck pain. This, nagagawa kasi ito, lagi tayong naka-computer, ayun, tapos cellphone, laging nakatungo yung ulo natin. So, pagka nagre-rest tayo, naramdaman natin, masakit tong bandang batok natin, leeg natin, shoulder natin. So, turo lang ako ng mga tips para pang-alleviate dito. Ang gagawin natin is, yung bang magmamas, ito yung head natin, tapos ito yung neck natin, ito, tapos ang gagawin mo lang, igaganon mo lang, oh. Press, 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 ganon lang. Pero dito, tinuro ko lang para kung paano gawin lang. Oh, dito is, yan. Dito, oh yan, press. Gawin yung 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Tapos kabila naman. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then, ang isunod nyo rito is our face. Itingin nyo sa left and right. That's 1 count. 10 count lang. 2, 3. Huwag yung mabilisan kasi mamaya may yung mga ugat nyo mabanat. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then yung tungo tsaka ngala. 10 din. 1 count, 2 count, 3 count, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yan. Ganun lang. Pagka nararamdaman nyo nagte-tense, ganyan lang ang gawin nyo. Mafe-feel yung nagre-relieve yung neck pain nyo, saka shoulder pain. Sige. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Alfred. And I hope na-relieve ang inyong neck pain ngayon. Okay, next portion is my turn, no? When a loved one is diagnosed with cancer, anong dapat niyong gawin? I experienced this kasi my wife was diagnosed with cancer, so ako yung nagwo-worry para sa kanya, no? On my part, anong dapat gawin, no? I've learned so many things, no? But this is one important thing, no? Is this, no? Don't panic, take ownership, take responsibility. Some people panic and they relinquish responsibility. Pag ganun nangyari, yung buhay mo nakataya na kung saan mo na ilagay yung responsibility, no? So, take responsibility. Bakit? Kasi it's the buhay of your loved one. Most likely, ikaw ang responsible, no? So, sino yung pinag-uusapan natin? Ito yung maybe your spouse, maybe your parents, maybe your children. Okay? Of course, pag sinabi mo cousin, ibang usapan na yan kasi you don't have control over their lives, no? The only thing you can do is probably give advice, give prayer, hanggang doon lang. So, you might be worrying for them, pero you cannot take responsibility for them. So, ang pinag-uusapan natin is your immediate loved ones. Because indirectly, meron kang dapat gawin on their part. When a person is diagnosed with cancer, lahat ng mundo nila titigil. Okay, so everything stops and everything is rewind. Okay, ganun kasi ang cancer, no? Para siyang, ang description ko parang nasusunugan ng bahay pero slow motion. Okay. So sigurado yung sunog, yun lang, mabagal, slow motion. And ang maganda rito, meron ka pang panahon para makatakas kasi nga hindi siya biglang sunog. Okay, the next thing is you have to decide who are the decision maker. Sino gagawa ng responsibility and who will pay. Yun ang pinakamahirap dito, no? Sino magbabayad. Okay, so kung ikaw ang magbabayad, then you have to take responsibility. Okay, now why do I need to remind you of that? Kasi many people relinquish responsibilities to doctor. Now, doctors are our partners to healing, but they are not the boss, no? Ikaw ang boss kasi ultimately, kung anong nangyari sa iyo, you will bear the responsibility. Yung funeral expense mo, ikaw rin magbabayad, no? So, you have to take full responsibility in the sense that you have to know what the doctor is doing, and then whether you agree or not. You have to partner and say, this is the treatment you will do. Agree tayo dito. Okay? And then you go ahead with your plan. No? So this is very important. Now, the second is you have to distinguish yung two types of diagnosis. May dalawang klase kasi. Yung una is yung initial doctor's prognosis or opinion based on probably blood test or maybe may nakakapa siyang bukol, something like that. So the doctor may say, I think this is bad, no, based on my experience. But yung ang pinaka-definite or pinaka-final is really the description of the pathologies based on biopsy report or PET scan. So even if may prognosis yung doctor, they still will rely on the biopsy to determine kung anong klaseng cancer, kung cancer na ba o hindi. So when the doctor give a prognosis na wala pang biopsy, may panahon pa. Okay? The prognosis can be wrong. At kung not second and third opinion ka, baka you would find out it's something else. So probable yan, no? Pero kung lumabas yun sa pathologist, it cannot be wrong na. Totoo na yun, no? Right now, ang conventional therapy, tatlong proseso: surgery, chemotherapy, saka radiation. And they call this slash, poison, and burn. No? Now, that is what they are doing. If you are a person na meron kang loved ones na may cancer, for me, no, this will be the last option. Okay. So, ibig sabihin, if I can find another option, I would rather not slash, not poison, not burn. Pero kung wala ng option, ito yung gagawin ko, di ba? Kung wala ng ibang option eh. Pero kung may other option, hanapin ko muna yung other option. Now, when you go to conventional therapy, just be sure of this one thing. Basta pumunta kayo sa hospital and you ask a hospital doctor, lahat ng recommendation nila pare-pareho. Mag-differ lang siya sa degree. Kasi may mga doktor na mas expert sa chemotherapy, may mga doktor na mas expert sa surgery, meron mas expert sa radiation. Mag-iiba lang doon sa degree kung paano gagawin, pero more or less, it's the same recommendation by all the doctors. No? So, yun ang conventional. Now, one thing that people never ask is to ask, ano yung probability of success? Okay. Doc, sa 100 na pasyente nyo na ganun ang treatment, ilan yung buhay, ilan yung patay? Those are things that people don't ask. No? And fortunately, you don't have to ask that anymore. No? You can go to the internet. No? The internet, when you go to the National Cancer Institute of the US, and go to Surveillance Epidemiology and End Result, or short for SEER, SEER. Okay, when you type that, lalabas itong website. And then when you click on cancer statistic, then doon sa magkakaroon ng cancer stat facts. Makikita mo yung multiple type of cancer na nakasulat. So all you need to do, depende kung anong type of cancer, you click on that type of cancer. No? And then like for example, sa breast cancer, makikita mo 5-year relative survival rate is 90.6%. So mataas ang probability using conventional treatment. Pagdating sa prostate cancer, 96.8%. Pagdating naman sa colon cancer, 65.1%. So, hindi gaano kaganda, no? So, pag gano'n, you have to decide, gusto mo pa ba ng conventional therapy o you would use other therapy first. Okay? Then, when you go to other cancers, like lung cancer, mas mababa ang prognosis, no? Like 22.9%. Pag gano'n kababa, ako mismo, personally, I won't even go to the hospital. Okay? Kasi, ang baba I don't believe, I mean, this is the US, no? Mas mataas ang survival rate nila kasi mas maganda equipment nila. We are in the Philippines, so mas mababa ang survival rate natin. And this is anong cancer to? This is liver cancer, 20.8%. And one of the dismal cancer is pancreatic cancer, 11.5%. Okay, so that is the US na, and 11.5% lang nabubuhay. Ang ibig sabihin kasi nito is that current conventional drug is not working on the cancer. So pag ganon, I would do something else. I would not rely on this treatment. No? And sad to say, karamihan ng tao doesn't consult anyone outside of the hospital. So kung meron silang cancer, they look for 5, 10 opinions, pero puro hospital. So they always give the same answer. When you go to other alternative doctors at meron naman, you will see that usually their recommendation is to treat the inflammation first, make it shrink or disappear by changing lifestyle and diet. Okay? Sa alternative kasi, kung may bukol ka, hindi nila ginagalaw ang bukol. When you do biopsy kasi, nag-spread yung cancer. Kasi usually needle biopsy yun. Unless the procedure is more safer. Like for example, tatanggalin yung buong bukol. So kung tatanggalin yung buong bukol, that is safer, no? So, okay yon if you decide to do that. Pero kung bubutasan lang yung bukol at kukuha lang ng sample, kung malignant yon, mag-i-spread yung cancer. So, what will happen is once a biopsy ka at nalaman nila malignant, wala ka ng choice. You have to go chemo, you have to go radiation, tuloy-tuloy na yon. Okay? So, and you have to do it fast kasi tatapang yung cancer. So, as much as possible, we tell people, kung meron pang panahon, kasi yung cancer did not develop just overnight. Hindi katulad ng mga flu, no, na develop just a few days, no. Ang cancer developed over years. So since develop siya over years, huwag ka magmadali. So you can spend a few months studying and trying to shrink the tumor with alternative means. Sa alternative means kasi, maraming paraan, no. Meron tinatawag na naturopathy, Chinese traditional medicine, Ayurveda, immunotherapy, Adam and Eve diet, and then mga other things which they use to bring down inflammation like lactoferrin, PPARs, adenosine. So all of this can bring down inflammation. And in 1 month's time, if you were able to, titignan mo lang naman yung bukol kung kaano kalaki. So in 1 month's time, kung lumiliit yung bukol, then why go through surgery? Diba? Lumiliit yung bukol it's working Sa alternative, they always assume na basta may bukol yon, we treat the bukol until mawala, no? So, once nawala yung bukol, you don't need any more treatment. Okay? Sa conventional, they will do biopsy. Okay? So, ang delikado sa biopsy nga is pag malignant yon, mag-spread yung cancer. Pero kung di siya malignant, okay lang. So, if there's another way to remove and study the by taking the whole tumor, okay lang yon, no? Now, one other way is to connect with us, okay? Because we survive cancer and we're helping people who to survive cancer. So we would be happy to guide you. Now, one of the things you have to do is connect with people who survive, okay? And ask them what they do. Okay, so we have resources. We can teach you, point you to the doctors who are doing the alternative therapy. And in the end, the decision is yours. You have to decide kasi kayo magbabayad So, hindi kami magdi-decide para sa inyo, hindi rin yung doktor, ikaw magdi-decide. If you decide to go with this therapy, you go with conventional or alternative, you have to stick with it, no? Decision mo yun. And kami, we decided to go main therapy, yung surgery, chemotherapy, and kasi it was breast cancer and mataas yung survival rate. So it means yung gamot was working on breast cancer. And also, yung we tried the alternative therapy at that time. So at that time, nahirapan kami sa alternative. So wag mo nyo isipin alternative mura, no? Hindi siya mura. So mahal din siya. So nahirapan kami. And then, we give a deadline to the doctor. We said, gusto namin in 3 to 6 months, wala na yung cancer. So the doctor tells us very frankly, sabi niya, kung gusto niyo gawin yun, go for the conventional therapy. Kasi alternative therapy, matagal, maghihintay ka ng 1 year, and then afterwards, you will have to evaluate and wait another year. Sabi ko, we cannot do this for 1 year. That's why we went conventional. No? So it was a decision we made after reviewing everything, lahat ng aming option. No? So we can, pero yung option namin kasi madali, kasi it was breast cancer, kaya mataas yung batting average. No? So we can help you make a decision, but in the end, you have to make the decision. Next, I will be asking my wife, Dorothy, to present her
Yes.
experience.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Yes, I'm Dorothy. I was diagnosed with stage 3 lobular breast cancer. Kadalasan, ductal carcinoma ang kadalasang nadadiagnose. So sa akin was sa lobe nag-umpisa kaya siya lobular. I was informed by my doctor that the recurrence can come back, no? Kasi sa lobe siya. So as Sam said, eventually we had the surgery. Actually, I was stage 3 when I was diagnosed, and it was malignant and aggressive. I was age 42. So, mabilis usually pag younger ka, mataas yung immune system. But to have one that's aggressive, I needed to go through a chemotherapy. That was what the doctor recommended. But as Sam mentioned, we didn't jump into it. I was very adamant of going through chemo because I know ano yung possible side effects, no? And the next slides, please. So we looked into two kasi yung sinabi ni Sam kanina na dalawang type of therapy, yung conventional. So I already sought my doctor. I went through mastectomy on the second after 2 days, no, because 1 year na yung lump ko kasi hindi ko siya pinapansin. I think on denial that it could happen to me, but we do have sabi ng doctor, genetic daw yan because my grandmother had the same condition and he was the same surgeon. So I thought that was it. So in just 2 days, my life was different already. Parang cancer really was staring at us, and it was something very frightening sa umpisa. Kaya namin to ginagawang talks, no, is really to prepare people because some people will think that hindi mangyayari yan sa akin or I have healthy living, it won't happen to me, no, but it did. And I had to go through surgery, but after I did the surgery, I talked to people, those who had cancer, ano yung ginawa nila. And I also sought conventional and alternative doctors, no? And iba yung recipe, or should I say recipe or protocol pag alternative. Ang sabi nila is change diet, rehydration, detoxification, adequate sleep, stress management. So I was really intrigued during those time because usually the doctor when I talk to, sabi, magpa-surgery ka lang after nyan. Within 2 months, you need to start your chemo, no? So, iba-iba yan. Partly for breast cancer, there are 85 types of breast cancer and may mga hormone therapy din as part of their conventional if you have breast. Because tinitignan nila yung estrogen level mo, progesterone level, and then the HER2 new. So, kailangan i-test yun. Good thing my prognosis was, negative ako for positive ako for progesterone, negative for HER2, kaya hindi ako binigyan ng hormone therapy. The hormone therapy is quite expensive, abutin yan before mga 2 million yan, no? So I was positive for HER2, positive progesterone, and negative for HER2. Kaya may gamot yon pag ganyan. So, iba-iba pong kondisyon depending on how the diagnosis would go. So, next slide. And one of the person that we have encountered in the past is Robert Wright. Robert Wright was the founder of the American Anti-Cancer Institute. Kung sa traditional, meron tinatawag na American Cancer Society. Sa alternative, yun yung ginawa niya was American Anti-Cancer Institute. But now they've changed their website, no, to International Wellness and Research Center. So we have been following him in reading up his protocol because it's in our family. I'm the 4th person who had cancer. So, hindi na bago sa amin ito. It's just that it's different because ako na ngayon. What do you do? What do we do? How do we handle it? So, when we checked back on Robert Wright, when we saw yung kanyang recommendations, the next slide please, meron siyang 5-step protocol, no? And the first protocol was the relief shakes, which we already have, and that is also the product that had helped my grandmother, who was stage 3 to 4 breast cancer, got well in about 7 to 10 months time, na wala siyang other therapy except for surgery because he was 86 years old at the time. So any form of conventional therapy like chemo and radiation was not suggested, not recommended na for him. Marami na po kasi siyang health issues. And we felt like nataningan na ng buhay. Parang he was about to die because of his health issues, age-related, at ang dami niyang meds, tapos nantaningan pa ng buhay ng 3 buwan. But that was the time we heard about relief, and we started giving her in terms of just nutritional supplementation. And then the second item that I came to know was the structured ionized living water. But we came to know this siguro mga 6 months na akong nagta-therapy when I was informed about hydrogen water. Anyways, I will talk more of this now. So the next step, next slide please. So yan, fact 1 is cancer grows in an acidic environment. So this is Dr. Otto Warburg, and sabi niya, though disease including cancer can exist in an alkaline environment. No? So you can Google more on him and the things that he has to say. Next. Okay. So what did we do? So besides the conventional therapy, I was given about 2 months before ako mag-chemo. So I followed also my alternative doctor to change diet. And what is this? No, eating more live foods or whole foods versus dead food. What do I mean? Ito yung mas 80% my diet would be more raw food, meaning if I had to cook something, it should be lightly steamed or boiled lang, basta hindi nababago masyado yung because live food have enzymes that your body needs, no? And these are the greens, the salads, even nuts as whole food versus dead food such as baked goods like cakes, donuts, tinapay, or mga pizza, yan, ang mga dead food. So you need to eat more live food, no? Yun ang advice sa akin. Tapos, 80% should be alkaline and 20% are acidic food. So, bawal din yung masyadong dairy or mga cheese, okay? And more on greens, more on fruits, more on meat is also part of the acidic food, no? Avoid processed food like processed meat, sausages. I'm sure alam na natin mga yan, mga junk food. Anything that you see inside the box or in a plastic bag containers. That's how I would define it, no? So, even pancakes, no? Yung mga bawal sa akin during I was pregnant, those are the things I also remove from my diet. Food with additives, with colorings, no? Even sugar food, mga matatamis, no? Avoiding fish without scales also, no? And also mga shrimp, any crustaceans, hipon, alimango, lobsters, okay? These are things that are toxic to the body. That was what I was informed. So those are the things I had to remove from my diet, no? Next. Maraming yung alternative, pero I'll just focus on those three major ones, no? And of course, the rehydration. I realized during that time that I was only drinking about 4 to 5 glasses of water. One, because siguro I was just home and hindi ako din mahilig mag-exercise, so I don't perspire. So hindi rin ako masyadong nag-CR, no? Because nga, limit lang. Parang morning, I'll drink 1 glass, maybe before lunch, another one, sa hapon at sa gabi. And that makes your body acidic when you don't drink enough water. And when I interviewed also a lot of either cancer survivors or those who had cancer, yun din yung isang common denominator na hindi mahilig mag-water, lalo na yung mga work nila na nakatayo sila or they are working in the bank because they don't like to keep going to the CR. Water was not drinking enough water is an issue. So this is body is 70% water. And without sufficient water, your metabolic process, nutrient transport, immune factor transport mo, yung waste disposal, hindi ka rin nag-eliminate properly, your cellular function cannot occur. So basic po yung tubig, no? And how much water to take, you can take note of that. Iba-iba po tayo, depende po yan sa weight. So kung sa kilos tayo, if you have 60 kilos ang weight nyo times 30 ml, that would be around 1.8 liters, no? So that would be my requirement. Pero kung optimal ang kailangan kong sa tubig, like I perspire a lot or exercise, you perspire, you want an optimal requirement, that's kilos times 45 ml. So that's a formula that you can check, no? And check your family members also, even your children, especially ngayon, maraming work from home na hindi lumalabas. Minsan nakakalimutan din uminom ng tubig, especially pag tuloy-tuloy yung meetings nyo. So I had to discipline myself to drink water by putting a liter of water in front of me. So I make sure that 1 liter I consume in the morning, another liter in the afternoon, and another one in the evening, or at least half, no? So kahit 1.8 yung kailangan ko, I strive to get 2.5 liters a day so that I am well hydrated. Another is yung marami kasi ngayon umiinom ng bottled water or even drinks. Sugar-laden drink is something I have removed. So whenever we go to restaurants, I don't order soft drinks, I don't order juices as much as possible, except for minsan fruit shakes. Pero if at all possible, just drink plain water. Iba pa yung tubig sa, minsan sasabihin na nagkakape naman ako, kasama ba yun sa tubig? Or yung tea, I drink a lot of tea. Iba pa rin yung water, no? Next. And then the other aspect is the detoxification. I should say during that time, that was 12 years ago, that was new to me. Ano ba yung detox? Mahirap ba yun? You know, so there is such thing as a physical or liver and kidney detox, because those are the organs of our body that filters a lot of the things that we eat. So for sa mga cancer treatment, they usually require mga detox sessions, no? I was doing coffee enema during those time because I was given wobenzyme. It's enzymes to help kill cancer cells. So you need to detox from those cancer cells from your body. So I was doing coffee enema. And then fasting from sugar and simple carbs. So halos we need help ko din yung rice, because I love rice. I eat a lot of rice. So I had to minimize, during those time, I had a withdrawal symptom kasi hindi ko kinaya yung bigla kong tatanggalin. Para kang nagka-crave talaga ng rice. But I had to do it slowly, no? Heavy metal can be heavy metal detox. I had the test, parang meron ako mga mercury, I forgot this other heavy metals na marami sa rice natin. So kailangan po din natin nagdi-detox because we get this even from the food that we eat, no? I also had the dental amalgam removed because I was still having my mercury sa ngipin ko. So yan din yung pinatanggal sa akin ng aking doctor. And since I was estrogen positive, I was reading a lot on what causes estrogen to go up. And minsan yung mga chemicals na ginagamit natin sa bahay, I remove shampoos, conditioner, soaps, Ang na-soaps ko yung mga natural soap, no? I used to even use mga hairspray. Syempre, di ba, kailangan mo yun pag lalo na may mga event. But before, I use it daily during high school. Syempre, sa school, cautious ka sa hair. But you know, you have to understand that our skin is our greatest organ. And whatever you put on your skin, like lotions, kung mga ano-ano, perfumes, everything is get absorbed into the body. So we have to limit a lot of this chemical use. Wala na kami mga Lysol dito sa bahay, disinfectant, no? And need to exercise. Sweating is a way of detox. So if you don't sweat, yung tendency mo to accumulate toxins is also high. Lalo na sa babae, kailangan natin yung exercise because especially yung mga, I should say, yung mga bra, no? Avoid yung mga, yung mga wide bra that makes you, yung dito sa area natin, below the breast, yung lymphatic system, that is where our drainage system is. So if you wear a lot of this wide bra and you wear it for 12 hours a day, lahat ng toxins dyan sa katawan, tapos hindi ka nag-exercise, naiipon dyan, and it gets lodged into the breast tissue. And those are the things I've learned during my journey. No? So kailangan din mag-mental detox, yung mga negative thinking, you change it to more positive things. No? Next. So what helps me stay cancer-free? It's been 12 years, actually. I'm thankful to the Lord for giving me another life. But it's primarily also the right belief in God. Minsan pag nagkakasakit yung tao, ang unang iisipin mo, Lord, may kasalanan po ba ako? O baka oras ko nang mamatay. Those thoughts also occurred to me. But one thing I learned is that God wants you healed. And hindi niya gusto yon, hindi will ni Lord na you die of being sick, of sickness, no? But I learned that God wants us to live abundant life and God wants us healed because when He was here, God was healing everyone. So hindi niya kagustuhan yung mamatay ka na may sakit, no? So I have to change those beliefs and then I have to have a positive mindset. I should say that fear was always around. Takot ka na baka, you know, I'm not really afraid to die in a sense, but I'm afraid to leave my loved ones behind. But you have to guard your emotions, lalo na pag sa cancer, yung fear nandiyan. And the only way to counter fear is faith, no? And I overcome depression also through compassion. What does that mean? Instead of just being inward, thinking of my own condition or sarili ko lang iniintindi ko, I talk to people and reach out to them, especially those who are going through the same. And encourage them, I help them out in whatever possible I know, and then we can relate to each other, we can share recipes, or I can share food, or share information. It's really connecting, and I felt like my life became more meaningful, no? Being able to reach out to others less fortunate, and I also became selective of what I watch and listen to. For a time, I was so, na ano ko pag may na-mention na may namatay, ganon, parang na-trauma ako. So I also avoided watching certain movies na hindi healthy and the things that you listen to. So I look for music that calms my spirit, calms my soul. And you also become, take time to distress, no? And find what you love to do, even nature trips, that's what we do. No? Next. So once again, just want to say that let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. Ibig sabihin lang nito, wag lang po kayong didepend sa mga pag sinabi ng doctor, chemo lang, radiation, as if that is a cure, no? A lot of times, bumabalik yung cancer ng tao, maybe after 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, because they just relied on those treatment. When we knew that chemo will only give you maybe after 5 years or more, ang habol ko is to be healed thoroughly, and it's not just passing 5 years or within 5 years. So those are the things you have to aim for, and it's usually because of a lifestyle change. And our diet is important, our water, our sleep, our exercise, even sunlight is very important. Next. So hopefully we have given you some information, because the new medicine now is about being educated, and the best cure is prevention. Next. And so in summary, guard your heart and mind from fear. Pray and seek God, because He is our healer. If God has healed me, I know He will also heal your loved ones or yourself. Rehabilitate your health by nourishing your body and strengthening your immune system. Yan ang true doctor natin, yung immune system sa ating katawan. And prevention starts today. It's our daily habit that heals. Don't wait till you get a diagnosis. You start prevention now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dorothy. Next, I will have a short portion on the root cause of cancer. So, being a scientist, we always look for root causes. Sa science kasi, pag we don't know the cause, we cannot cure. So, you cannot cure kung mali, yung cure mo mali sa cause. So, I discovered this website. It's called Be in Health website. And it's discovered by another Wright. Si Henry Wright, Pastor Henry Wright, he's a pastor who studied medicine. And then later on, he discovered yung roots ng cancer. And he found out that maraming disease na incurable has emotional and spiritual root. The spiritual root causes the emotion, which causes the disease. At meron silang mga summer camp therapy, people who have diseases goes there. And then may mga libro siya. And then he's exposing yung mga roots, which is the emotional roots of diseases. Kanina, Dorothy was mentioning about mental health, keeping your mind healthy. Last 2 weeks ago, we have a session on improving mental health. It's already up in YouTube. If you want the link, you can connect with us and we can send you the link. And it's very important on your mental health. And dito naman, it's talking about the root of disease. And the good news is this: Dr. Henry Wright was able to discover the root cause of cancer. And you might be surprised, ano yung root cause ng cancer? And sabi niya, unforgiveness is the primary cause of cancer and arthritis. Yung mga tao na pinagsabihan niya, and then finally they forgive, the cancer also went away. Okay, so ganun lang pala kasimple. Hindi mo kailangan ng treatment. All you need to do is forgive and your cancer will go away. So there's somebody in your life, in your past, that maybe galit na galit ka and you will not forgive this person. It will spawn diseases like cancer and arthritis in your body. Later on in life, lalabas na lang yan. It will come back to haunt you. And later on, pag sumakit yung portion ng body mo, maalala mo siya. Okay? Ganun kasi nangyayari. And the Bible did say, if you cannot forgive your fellow man, neither will God forgive you your sins. So that's the only thing that God will not forgive, that is unforgiveness. Okay? So connect with us. If you have any query, you can write to us at travelitesam@gmail.com, and we will send you whatever information we can give you. Okay, so thank you very much for attending our coffee time. We'll see you again.